Thank you for joining us on The Buzz today. We're going to be celebrating some winners from the Small Business of the Month. First, Virginia Davis of Virginia's Dress Shop in downtown Rocky Mount will be our guest, and then Brian Rankin of Milton and Miles. We are so delighted to be getting to know better Virginia Davis of Virginia's Dress Shop. We are on the same committee for Downtown Central City Revitalization Committee, and it's my understanding that you've been very involved. You're located downtown, of course, but you've been very involved in hanging in there downtown and watching the changes and the progress, and that's important to you.
Yes, it is. That committee started around the kitchen table at Simwald's house when they were living on Grace, and it was just a small group, and I have enjoyed watching all the changes, and it's been really rewarding to me. I have a great interest in the downtown. I love seeing everything grow, and it has really been good. Everything doesn't happen right away. The changes can be slow in process, but it certainly is rewarding in the end, and I'm very proud of our town. It's a nice town made up of wonderful people, and I like to hope that they will come downtown and see all of the renovations, the changes on Main Street, and there will be more changes. We're in the process of working with the Design Committee, which is the subcommittee of the CCRP, and we will be making very positive steps forward.
Oh, and I appreciate your work with being a driving force in that and hanging in there all those years. We're real tickled about John Gesso and his leadership now, aren't we?
Yes, we are. It's been wonderful. It has been a very rewarding time for me.
Well, you won the Downtown Award for the Small Business of the Year. You were given that, and I think people can see now with listening to your passion for that. But we want to learn more about Virginia's Dress Shop. It started on Church Street. Originally where? What location on Church Street?
The original location was across from Bullock's Furniture, and it's presently now the Bel Air Artisan Building, and they are renovating once again. It'll be interesting to see that at the completion, but that's where we started, and we moved to Main Street as space became available, and then once again we made one more move to the Crest Building on Main and Western, and that was when Lionel Bynum started his redevelopment of Station Square. So all of that took place in the Crest Building in 1982. So it started with my mother in '51. And then when she passed, then you might say the baton passed to me in 2003.
Did you grow up working there?
Yes, I did. I spent a lot of time there, and so it was only natural that I would continue and keep the business going. I really would like to see it continue on.
And I hear with the way things are downtown now, that the future's only going to get better. So that's very encouraging.
That's good, isn't it?
For sure. Let's talk about your shop. It's one of the oldest and one of the premier women's clothing shops in town. What ages do you cater to, and what degree of casualness and formality and whatnot?
Well, we have separates for casual wear. Our age group would be about 30 and up. And we have a special occasion, and
how special?
weddings.
Okay.
We
Good.
do carry for weddings, and then we have separates and dresses and accessories, so we can really dress, and we enjoy doing it with all these ladies for all these years, making them look the best they can possibly look.
Well, and the personal service that you all give, I mean, you really get to know your clients, and you know what they like, and you know how to help people. I know I'm kind of a klutz, and I have to have help.
Oh, I don't think so.
But you know, to know that there's a group of talented ladies there to say, well, we can help you. You know, this goes with this, and this goes with this, and I bet you have a lot of return customers, a lot of people who've been shopping with you for decades, right?
Well, we do, but I have to say that we have a lot of new people in this area, and I'm so glad of that. And they're excited about our town and the downtown area, and we invite all of them to come and shop with us, and enjoy what they see, and the experience of shopping with Virginias. And I think that they will surely find something that they will enjoy having.
Oh, I think so too. I tell you, when I had almonds downtown, I would see you out sweeping the sidewalk.
Yes.
I would see you occasionally walking your dogs.
Yes,
on
I do
Howard
all
Street
that.
with your. But it's wonderful to have a locally owned, locally operated. I know we've had a couple of chain stores come and go, and they don't have the commitment to our community that you do. And I think we need, as citizens of Rocky Mountain, people who love Rocky Mountain, to take that very seriously, because other places, they come and, you know, if this is one of their best selling stores, then they'll stay. If not, they'll pull out and leave. But since 1951, y'all have stayed here through good times and bad, I would think.
Oh,
and
it's been a lot of changes.
Does the location, not only downtown, but being an intersection of 95 and 64, has that been beneficial?
I would say yes, because it certainly does. It's a highway or interstate, if you will, that brings people in. It's certainly easy to find, and I think we're fortunate in that way. I really do. You know, in the future, I continue to see our store, as well as others, being anchor stores for all of the changes that might be taking place. So I believe that is all good. We have enjoyed it. It feels like home to me. You see me do all these things that go along.
You bring your family with you to work.
Yes, I do, and it just it's been good.
Do you own that building?
Yes, we do, and that's why you see me doing all these crazy things that go on with owning a building. You're committed to all of it.
And it's one of the few buildings, and I say that because the Almonds building too, and we've got someone I'm unable to mention right now interested in that. And I'm so glad, because the buildings such as yours and Almonds have never been unutilized, and therefore the quality and the maintenance on them makes them very viable structures for people to move right in and enjoy them again. Or
That's
continue
wonderful.
growing them in your case.
Yes. Isn't that wonderful?
And don't we love our neighbors downtown too?
Yes.
I mean, Reverend Jones is walking up and down the street a lot, and there are. I know when Southern Bank was looking for a place to locate, they did studies of 3 different places in Rocky Mountain as potential place to locate. And did you know one of the reasons they would like downtown, that they were pleased to see that it had the least crime of any of the places they were considering going. So anybody who might have avoided coming downtown because they think it's not safe, you and I mean, I've been there for years and years and years, and you too, and I feel perfectly safe and happy. I love being down there.
I have not experienced major crime. Times change, but I think it is as safe as any place in this area.
Right, and Dr. Brown with her medical practice now is right next door, so it's coming back. We're seeing changes
Yes.
in more people. styles of your clothes? Are you more traditional? Are you more classic? How would you describe them?
I would say that we are more, we have traditional, and then we have a little dressy and sportswear, and you can make it, you can change it any way you really want to do it. If you want to be classic, you can do that. But if you want to add little flares with accessories, oh, you can certainly make it your own outfit.
Have you seen in the years that you've been involved, Virginia, lots of changes that you can share with us as far as how people, I mean, I guess people used to wear gloves and hats and whatnot, and now people are a little more casual in how they dress?
They are. We still carried hats this spring, not as many, but they were pretty hats. And the gloves, we more in the winter time, you know,
Not
for warmth.
accessories like they used to be.
A few churches will do that, and but really it's more for winter wear.
You have, we talked earlier about your serving on the downtown, the Central City Committee, but you also have been involved because of your great love for your dogs. With Paws for Paws. You've helped the Wright Center. Tell us a little bit about Paws for Paws. Why is that good to you?
I do like Paws for Paws, and I will also mention Animal Crackers because I have a little dog that came from Leslie Bauer and Animal Crackers, and she's very dear to me, and I like working with helping rescue. It's very rewarding, and the Paws for Paws, that is at Riverside Vet, and they take donations, and that helps a lot of people with their services that might not be able to pay.
So that's for veterinary services? Is that what Paws for Paws is? Oh, okay.
And that is at Riverside Vet. So anyone that has an animal, or their doctor maybe, or just if they're interested in contributing in that way. But any of our rescue groups are certainly worthwhile.
Oh, and we've got a lot of animal lovers in town,
Yes.
and I think that's just wonderful.
And that's just only a couple, and there's others, and they're all in great need.
Well, and just come down Main Street, Southwest Main Street, the block that you're in. You need to come down Sunset and come right before the railroad tracks, take a right. There's storefront parking, and you're open for what hours?
From 10 o'clock to 4:30, Monday through Saturday, and that's our hours. And if anyone is running late, give us a call.
See, that's the type of thing that locally owned, locally operated, it means so much. And Virginia, I want to thank you as somebody who loves Rocky Mountain, that your commitment, your locally owned, locally operated, y'all have been a mainstay and totally committed to Rocky Mountain. So thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it. And stay tuned. Brian Rankin of Milton and Miles will be joining us next. We are back with Brian Rankin, but first we want to thank Roger G. Taylor and Associates for making this show possible. Really do appreciate it, and I don't know about you, but I learn a lot about new people by watching it, so we are very grateful for that. Brian, I told you right before we started that I'm going to introduce you as the groundbreaker for Rocky Mountain for restaurants. When I come in Milton and Miles in the Imperial Center, you are what I've read about that millennials just absolutely adore. But I don't just see millennials there. I see ministers there who are there for coffee for the group every morning, I think. And you've got the best cookies there have ever been in the whole world.
Thank you very much, dear.
You utilize your local produce. You bring in craft beers. I mean, tell us the history of how you came. And first off, you're the Rookie of the Year for Small Business Awards for the Chamber. So congratulations for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
But give us kind of your history of how your wonderful restaurant evolved.
It has been evolving and continues to do so. So we try to work on one thing and see how that reacts. So for us, when we started, it was just coffee and sandwiches. Actually, we didn't even have beer or wine. And a lot of us that like to drink coffee like to enjoy nice wine and nice beer as well, especially really well crafted. And so so we started experimenting with that, bringing in beers that were either North Carolina or outside of the state, but not easily available. And so with that, we just kind of took that piece and said, hey, here's some new beers, we can try this. And then we started with wine, and then we branched out into small estate Italian wines with Piedmont Wine Imports, and also working with fine wine trading and get some things from them. So it's always just been that evolving process of finding something new that we liked and didn't know if everybody else would like to try it as well. So.
But I like your adventuresome. I mean, when I go in there, I'm going to look and say, well, are tomatoes fresh right now? And if so, then I can get your BLT. My favorite is well, you know what my favorite is. It's with avocado and turkey and the salad. It's just incredible. It's hard once you eat something there to try something else, because if you like it that much, it's just really important to stick with it. But you pay attention to the farmer's market. You like local produce. But if you try something that doesn't work, have you said, well, you know, we tried this and this wasn't quite right, so we're going to go in this different direction? Or have most of the things you've tried seemed to have gone well, right?
Well, it'd be nice to think so. I think we actually have tried a lot of things and they haven't worked. Either it was, and a lot of things that we tried never actually make it to the menu. So we're kind of that first line of defense. You know, we like your turkey and avocado, there's a lot of different ingredients from different cultures in that particular sandwich or salad, and sometimes that works and it makes a great menu item, and then sometimes it's just kind of, you just shake your head and go, well, that one's not going to work out. So we try to be that first line of defense for ourselves. Our staff, we try everything when it's new and kind of get some reactions there, and then we do little small tests, and then we put it on the menu, and sometimes it works out well, and it's a great success, and people really enjoy it, and they enjoy it for the season. And sometimes it gives us good feedback, and we go, okay, well, this didn't work, and is it the market? Is it the particular ingredient? Is it the way we put it together? And so it's a great learning experience, because you always can take that information and that what you've reached and kind of make a new menu item.
Did you have a background in restaurants?
I did not. I was the oldest growing up, and my mom cooked but did not enjoy cooking, so I would help cooking while I was at home, and my dad was usually at work, and he actually enjoyed cooking more than my mom, so on the weekends I would watch him and learn little things. So I grew up cooking more probably traditional Southern dishes or whatever was easiest at the time. So.
Well, and how would you describe your cuisine now? It's not traditional Southern, it's combination of like BLTs, but it's really fresh, wonderful new versions of things.
I think it's always been kind of hard for us to put a label on it. I think it is American cuisine. I don't think it's necessarily, some people call it New American, where it's just, I grew up in a world with the internet and with everything else, so that we were exposed to all kinds of cultures and all kinds of foods, and I grew up in the South, and so I had that growing up, and so that inspires me. We use that even if it's in BLTs or pimento cheese and chicken salad, but we're not.
All of which are excellent, just excellent. Go ahead.
Yeah, but we're not scared to try, and I really enjoy foods from other cultures. So kimchi is one of my favorite condiments, or getting into anything pickled. So I grew up pickling, and then going, hey, all these other cultures are pickling as well. So what does that taste like, and can we go that route? And I think Southern food has always had a lot of influence. We had a lot of shipping and receiving ports throughout our history, so we always had food coming in from other countries kind of creeping through the mix. So.
Right, and I like the eclectic nature of the people who are in there. I mean, every time I come, I see multiple people I know, and they're generally having lunch usually, which is when I normally come in there with other people whom I wouldn't necessarily put them with, but it's a gathering place. It's a place where if you want to really have a good conversation, you've got free Wi-Fi, if you want to bump into people and have a good conversation, it's just a really neat place to go. How did you decide to take that particular spot in the Imperial Center?
My wife was working in the Imperial Center at the time, and so when I would go visit her at work, I would just walk by it and kind of say, I wish I had a place that I could go to and either work on my computer or have a cup of coffee or have a nice sandwich or something. And so that was kind of that first little seed in my mind on that location. And then as far as everybody coming there, that kind of worked out for us, I think. It's where we just try to approach our food and our products with just saying this is what we make. We're not going to try to be hoaxy about anything, or we follow trends based on what we like to eat, not necessarily because it's just a trend. And I think that kind of resonates with people. It's food that either they grew up with, or it's something new that they're willing to try because they went out of town and saw it somewhere, and hey, here it's in Rocky Mount again.
And people like you. I mean, I'm just going to throw that out there. I mean,
well, that's good.
We like to support you because you're doing something cool for us, and you brought a freshness and a newness and a youthful approach to things. You tap into social media. You use that a lot for your marketing. Your cookies are to die for. I mean, he brought a plate of cookies here, folks, today, and I said, bring them in and show them why well, they're already gone. Well, I'm not surprised because that's one of your real personal favorites, right? Your technique, will you share your technique with everybody? Yeah,
so my wife and I had worked on these cookies, and when we moved into the restaurant, you have different kinds of ovens, and they're really big ovens, so it's convection, and it's a lot more powerful than your home oven. So we had to tweak it, and what we found out is that we would make the cookies at least the day before and put them in the freezer, and that actually is a great technique you can try at home, because then it allows you to brown and darken the cookie while leaving the soft center that's just rightly cooked.
Just perfectly gooey. I was talking to somebody when the basketball tournaments were going on, and he said, I'm going home to watch games, but I'm going to swing by Milton and Miles and pick up some cookies to eat while I watch the game. And you actually are thinking about, you've had people approach you to send them as Christmas gifts, is that right?
That's right, yeah. We've had a couple businesses who are looking they want to support a local business, but they also, they like that touch of being able to offer a product that's handcrafted, made in the same town or in the same state as themselves, and be able to ship that either locally and hand them out face-to-face, or even be able to send them out. And we test ran that last year with a gentleman out of Greensboro, and we were able to ship cookies for him all over the Southeast, down to Georgia, South Carolina, Florida. And so we had such a great success with that, we thought we would expand that this year, and that's one of our new growths that we're testing out, like you were talking about earlier. So.
Goals. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, and you're adding on more retail space too, aren't you?
We are. We've been growing that. In the summertime, we were able to go ahead and start bringing in some local produce that we are already using in-house in one of the small farms that we support. And so now we had tomatoes from them in little containers, and then also other produce that they have. And then we have relationships with all kinds of North Carolina producers. And so we're starting to bring in their products and get them on our shelves as best we can. And then looking for products outside North Carolina, because there's a lot of great stuff happening everywhere.
We're partial to North Carolina.
We are always, but there's great stuff in Virginia and South Carolina and beyond. And so for us, we start as close to home with the best quality that we can, and then as we find more interesting things, we let it grow, because that's how we also learn to start making new things in our area, when we experience it somewhere else.
And your catering business, I mean, you have really done well with that, haven't you?
Yeah, that's been growing a lot for us. We primarily were focusing on business lunches for a long time, and people enjoyed that, and so they started asking us to do hors d'oeuvres for sometimes even a large wedding, or just a business meeting or a holiday party. And so we've been trying to work on a new menu and get that developed, especially for the upcoming holiday season, of being able to say, hey, these are the things we're really focusing on this year. These are some of the great North Carolina products that we can highlight at your party. So that kind of helps everybody's exposure.
Well, and I have to say, when you close at 3, and I look at my watch and it's 1:45, and I hadn't had lunch or I hadn't come for a cookie, I'm really sad. Is there a possibility you'll stay open later? So
we've been test running that a little bit there again. On Saturdays, we are now open till 5. We do wine tastings from 2 to 5, and those are free.
Every
Saturday. So we usually pick 2 or 3 new products, and it's not just wine. We've started putting beer in there. If we have a new coffee or tea that we're really enjoying, it's just kind of, you can come out, you can grab a glass, and myself or one of my staff will kind of walk through everything with you, and you know what to expect from a wine. And it's a great way to try something new. You know, sometimes, I mean, we have price ranges from $10 to $50 in wine, and it's hard to spend $50 if you've never had something.
Right.
But if you have a special event, or even to give it as a gift if you didn't trust it, it's a great time to come try it out.
I have to say, the first time I had coffee there, I watched what the gentleman went through in preparing it for me, and I thought, wow, this is the most trouble I've seen anybody go to prepare coffee. And I tasted it, and I realized it was worth every bit of it. I mean, you really do put a lot of time and thought, Brian, into everything you do. I mean, you don't just throw something out there, like you said, and as everybody's been learning, you test it, you try it, you think about it, you are open to new ideas. So I just hope that you'll just continue having huge success. And if anybody hadn't been there, they really need to.
Thank you, Jean.
And now, every day you're open?
Yeah, so Monday through Friday, we're 7:30 to 3. Saturday is now 7:30 to 5. And Sundays we have lunch from 11 to 2.
And that's a big after-church brunch group coming in there, lunch group coming.
Yeah, we've started a lot of the downtown churches, and even now further out are hearing that we're open for lunch, and they're coming in, so it's
the
great.
Regular menu on Sundays?
It is a regular menu. Sometimes when we're able to work with some of our farmers and get a really nice product, we'll do a lunch special or a special side item. When corn was really big, we did a lot of like roasted corn. And so instead of potato chips, you could come in and get a nice Nash Edgecombe County corn, and it's been grilled with butter and cilantro.
Oh, I'm really hungry. This is just one. In the name of the restaurant, in closing, it's your middle name and your little son's middle name.
That is correct,
right?
yeah.
Great. Good luck. We are all for you, Brian, and congratulations.
Thank you, Jean. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. We'll see you next week.